What if everything you've been told about waiting for the right moment is upside down? Right now, subtle signs around you may already be confirming that a major manifestation is on the verge of showing up. Maybe it's the same numbers repeating on the clock, a sudden change in mood, or a conversation that lands like a secret code. None of this is random. These signals are proof that your energy is at a breaking point, about to call a new reality into form. This video is for those moments when the universe seems to whisper, "It's time." We'll explore how spirituality, the law of attraction, and manifestation come together to create results faster than logic can explain. You'll discover why last-minute doubts aren't accidents, why certain delays are actually green lights, and how to act when hidden opportunities flash by for only a few seconds. Before we dive in, here's something simple that multiplies your results. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share a quick comment about the sign that brought you here. Why? Because each time you interact, you strengthen your own focus and magnetize more synchronicities. You also join a community that keeps these insights flowing, so every next video reaches you at the exact moment you need it. It's an easy step that keeps your mind aligned, your energy tuned, and your manifestations accelerating. There are moments when life seems to send signals that only those who are truly aware can notice. Coincidences build up, dreams repeat, and unexpected encounters appear in daily life. For those walking a spiritual path, this is no random accident. It's a calling. It feels as if the law of attraction is lighting the way, announcing that the manifestation of something greater is near. Anyone who senses this knows it's no coincidence they are here, reading or listening to these words. Many people think they chose to study spirituality, when in fact they were drawn to it. Life works quietly behind the scenes, weaving connections, opening doors, and sending signs. Think of those times when a book accidentally falls right in front of you, or when a video suddenly appears and answers a private question. These moments are silent invitations from the law of attraction, guiding you to a new level of manifestation, as if the universe is saying, "Now it's your turn." Interestingly, this process is rarely abrupt. It starts gently, like a soft breeze announcing a change in the weather. Suddenly, old routines no longer fit, and past pleasures lose their spark. As strange as it may feel, this is spirituality signaling that the field of manifestation is ready for new codes. It's the universe testing whether you notice the signs before the big leap. When someone feels restless and begins to question their own story, it's a sure sign that something deep is unfolding. The law of attraction works like an invisible magnet, drawing in situations and people who make room for transformation. It's as if every thought is a message sent to the universe, and now the reply is arriving. Those who understand this, stop seeing change as a problem and start welcoming it as the announcement of growth. It's natural in this phase to feel a mix of excitement and fear. After all, manifesting a new level of life means letting go of old certainties. Here, spirituality acts as a patient guide, reminding you that nothing happens outside the right time. When the law of attraction places something in your path, it's because your energy has reached the needed frequency. This is the silent preparation for what is coming. Take a practical example. Someone suddenly feels drawn to meditation or books about manifestation. Maybe they never cared for these topics, but now the pull is undeniable. That sudden shift of interest is the call. Books like The Power of Now or Think and Grow Rich don't fall into someone's hands by accident. They are part of a cosmic script that activates the law of attraction. Another powerful sign is when people show up who seem to mirror the life you want to live. New friendships, unexpected mentors, even brief meetings while traveling. Each conversation carries keys of knowledge and clues for manifestation. It's as if spirituality sends disguised messengers, proving that the law of attraction works like a network, creating perfect links so transformation can unfold naturally. Amid all of this, a quiet certainty grows. You didn't arrive here by chance. Every experience, whether joyful or challenging, is a piece of a larger puzzle. The law of attraction weaves every detail so that manifestation happens at the perfect moment. Life, with its deep wisdom, never sends opportunities to the wrong address. It simply waits for the moment when you declare yourself ready. It's important to understand that being chosen doesn't mean receiving an exclusive privilege. It means you're ready to set an example and spread a new awareness. Spirituality reminds us that personal manifestation influences the collective. As you expand, you inspire others to expand as well. It's an invitation to become a bridge between worlds, linking visible reality to the invisible field of creation. Many feel that something greater is watching and guiding them, and on an energetic level, that's real. The law of attraction isn't limited to material desires. It reflects the harmony between consciousness and the essence of the universe. Every thought of gratitude and every act of generosity reinforces the manifestation of a life aligned with peace and prosperity. It's as if every action is a password opening hidden doors. This journey takes courage because life often tests those about to make a big leap. Doubts, setbacks, and even criticism can appear as final barriers. Yet when you realize that everything is part of the process, faith becomes fuel. Spirituality shows that even obstacles feed manifestation, refining your intention and strengthening your purpose. As you move forward, you begin to see that coincidence is really sacred mathematics. Every detail, from a chance meeting at the market to a phrase overheard on a bus, seems planned to remind you that transformation is already underway. This awareness changes how you live. Daily life becomes a continuous dialogue with the universe, where the law of attraction is the language and manifestation is the answer. Little by little, the mind opens to something even deeper. The realization that every choice is also a reply. The invitation is not to watch from a distance but to take part in your own creation. This is the moment when the next insight draws near, leading consciousness to an even more fascinating space, where the unseen decides to become real. Life often feels like 1,000 open doors waiting for one decisive step. In spirituality, this is more than a figure of speech. It's the way the universe works. All the dreams, intentions, and quiet prayers you've sent out are like seeds in the air. They float in a state of pure potential until your focus, faith, and action guide them into form. This is the heart of the quantum collapse point, the moment when endless possibilities narrow into one living reality. Imagine a musician hearing many melodies at once and finally choosing one to play. Your mind works in the same way with desires. Each thought and feeling sends out a signal, and the strongest, clearest signal calls the future into shape. That's why spiritual teachers insist on clear intention. If your energy is scattered, the song of manifestation stays unfinished. But when you hold one steady note of belief, the universe hears it loud and clear. Many people think action alone makes things happen, but it starts even earlier. The very act of paying attention is action at the quantum level. Science has shown that observation changes particles, and in daily life the same principle applies. When you keep noticing signs of love, health, or abundance, you are already collapsing probabilities into the shape of those outcomes. The field responds to steady awareness the way metal responds to a magnet. Picture someone wanting to start a heart-driven business. They meditate each morning, write down their goal, and talk about it as if it were already real. At first, nothing seems different. Yet behind the scenes, every thought and word is focusing energy. A chance meeting with a future partner, an unexpected message, a sudden idea for a product. These coincidences appear because observation has turned invisible potential into physical steps. This is why spirituality and the law of attraction both value repetition. Each time you visualize, you strengthen the energy blueprint. It's like watering a plant. One splash doesn't do much, but steady care creates roots. The manifestation starts invisibly and only later shows above ground. If impatience kicks in, remind yourself that every quiet moment of focused attention is a construction phase, building a reality that will eventually meet your eyes. Doubt, however, scatters the field. Think of someone tuning an old radio. Even a small shake can lose the station. In the same way, mixed signals like fear and second-guessing create static that slows the collapse point. A simple practice is to write daily gratitude notes for things that have not yet appeared, as if they already belong to you. Gratitude trains the mind to stay on one frequency long enough for the universe to catch it. You don't have to be perfect to reach the quantum collapse point. What matters is consistency. Even a few minutes of stillness each day, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or mindful walking, locks in the signal. Many who practice this find that small coincidences grow into life-changing breakthroughs. What seemed like random luck is actually the field aligning with a mind that finally decided what it wants. Another helpful step is to turn your environment into a mirror of your goal. Someone saving for a new home might keep a folder of house photos on the wall. A writer might set up a small desk that feels like the office they dream about. These are not empty decorations. They are visual commands to the universe. They tell the field, this is the reality I'm ready to collapse into now. If resistance shows up, delays, sudden expenses, old doubts, that's not failure. It's the field testing how steady your signal is. In fact, many big manifestations are preceded by a burst of small challenges. They help burn away hesitation and force a clear choice. When you meet them with calm focus, you speed the collapse instead of slowing it. The universe reads persistence as proof that you're serious. Notice how this process feels less like forcing and more like welcoming. You're not chasing a dream across miles of effort. You're letting the dream crystallize where you stand. It's like water turning to ice when the temperature is right. You don't have to push each molecule. You create the conditions and let nature finish the job. That's the quiet power of the collapse point. Some people describe a sudden click, as if a door in the mind swings open. One day they wake up and the answer, the partner or the opportunity is simply there. They can trace no direct cause, only a trail of steady faith and action. This is the sweet spot where spirituality meets everyday life. The unseen mechanics of the universe performing what looks like a simple coincidence. When you start noticing these patterns, daily living changes. Ordinary tasks, walking the dog, checking emails, become alive with possibility. A single phone call or random conversation can carry the breakthrough. You stop forcing outcomes and start noticing openings. This relaxed alertness is the natural next step after the collapse point, leading toward even deeper alignment with manifestation. And just when it feels like the process is complete, a deeper layer reveals itself. The next lesson explores how letting go rather than holding on multiplies results. It's the art of surrender as real power, the subtle move that allows manifestation to flow without friction and prepares you for the stage ahead. True strength in spirituality often shows itself when we finally stop pushing. Surrender isn't about giving up, it's about releasing the tight grip on how and when things must happen. Many people exhaust themselves trying to control every detail of a manifestation, but real progress begins when they trust a larger rhythm. Think of a gardener who plants a seed and doesn't dig it up every hour to check. Growth unfolds in silence. When you surrender, you don't abandon your dream. You allow the universe to do its part. The law of attraction is like a dance partner. It can't lead if you're constantly pulling. Quiet trust creates space for unseen connections to align. Opportunities, people, and ideas that once seemed far away start to appear naturally, without endless planning or worry. This is power disguised as calm. Daily life gives plenty of chances to practice this. Imagine applying for a job or waiting for a call from a publisher. After sending the email or making the call, the next step is to release it. Instead of refreshing your inbox every 5 minutes, you might take a walk, meditate, or help someone else. Each of these simple acts signals to the universe that you believe the manifestation is already on its way. Letting go is not passive, it's an active choice to trust timing. Nature shows this everywhere. Rivers don't rush in panic to reach the ocean. They simply flow. Trees don't force leaves to open. They respond to the season. When you align with this intelligence, your own manifestations follow a natural calendar. You begin to see that delays often hide precise coordination rather than absence. Some people worry that surrender means losing ambition. On the contrary, it frees ambition from tension. You still set intentions, visualize, and take inspired action, but you stop micromanaging the outcome. This change in attitude strengthens the signal you send to the quantum field. A calm heart carries a clearer frequency than one buzzing with doubt or impatience. Practical tools can help. Breathwork, gentle yoga, or journaling every evening about things you've released are powerful. Write down goals, give them a deadline, then symbolically fold the page and place it in a special box. This small ritual mirrors what's happening in the unseen. Your request is safe and you can rest. Many find that when they open the box weeks later, the wish has already begun to materialize. Consider relationships. Someone may long for a loving partner but keep scanning dating apps out of fear of missing the right person. True surrender might look like focusing on personal growth, taking a course, enjoying hobbies, deepening friendships. Often, the ideal partner appears through these very activities. It's not magic, it's the quiet order that the law of attraction sets in motion once pressure is gone. Surrender also reshapes how we view setbacks. A lost job can feel like disaster until a better role appears that matches hidden talents. Missed flights sometimes save travelers from unseen dangers. The universe's timing is rarely random. When you trust it, even closed doors feel like guidance, leading you closer to the manifestation that fits your true path. For many, the hardest part is waiting in stillness. Yet this pause is full of invisible activity. Think of bread rising. Nothing seems to happen, but transformation is constant. Meditation and mindful walks turn this waiting time into fertile ground, allowing spiritual growth and fresh insights to surface. The more relaxed you are, the stronger the magnetic pull toward your desire. It helps to remember that surrender doesn't mean ignoring practical needs. Pay the bills, keep appointments, care for your health. What changes is the energy behind those actions. Instead of tension and fear, you carry a quiet confidence that everything is unfolding as it should. This shift is powerful enough to draw the right contacts, ideas, and opportunities without struggle. Even in small choices, surrender can guide you. If you can't decide between 2 job offers, you might take a day to rest, meditate, or spend time in nature. Often, the best decision rises naturally when the mind is no longer forcing an answer. This is how the quantum field responds. Clarity appears when resistance disappears. The beauty of surrender is that it builds a direct line to inspiration. Many people report sudden intuitive nudges, a thought to call someone, a fresh idea for a project, after finally letting go. These gentle impulses are not random. They are the universe showing the next step. Following them keeps the manifestation process alive and moving, even when no big event is visible. As you practice this art of releasing, something profound happens. You start to feel supported by life itself. Anxiety fades, replaced by quiet expectation. This inner state naturally leads into the next stage of the journey, where connection and energetic exchange, what we call entanglement, become the main drivers of manifestation. Every desire you hold is not floating separately from you. It is already linked to you by invisible threads. In spiritual language, this is called energetic entanglement. Just as 2 particles remain connected even when far apart, your thoughts and feelings stay in constant dialogue with the reality you wish to create. The moment you imagine a new life, a subtle bond is formed, waiting for your readiness to receive. Think about how a loved one sometimes calls the exact moment you're thinking of them. This is more than coincidence. It's a glimpse of entanglement in daily life. Your energy sends out a signal that their energy answers. Manifestation works in a similar way. What you focus on with steady feeling becomes magnetized to you, no matter how distant it may seem in physical space. The key shift is moving from wanting to receiving. Wanting says, "I don't have it yet," and often pushes the dream further away. Receiving says, "It's already part of me," and draws it closer. This is why gratitude before the wish is fulfilled has such power. A simple habit, writing each morning, "Thank you for the opportunities that are already mine," changes the frequency you emit and invites faster alignment. Practical examples make this clear. Someone seeking financial freedom might start a received list instead of a wish list. Instead of "I want a higher income," they write, "I am open to income streams that match my skills." This language signals readiness rather than lack. Soon they may notice ideas for side projects, unexpected job offers, or helpful connections that match their new vibration. Friendships and partnerships often reveal this principle most vividly. Two people on opposite sides of the world can feel each other's moods or make the same life decisions at nearly the same time. These experiences show that consciousness is not limited by geography. By treating desires as living relationships, listening, trusting, and giving thanks, you strengthen the entangled bond until the meeting point becomes inevitable. Many underestimate the role of emotion in this process. A thought alone is like an uncharged battery. Emotion is the current that activates it. Joy, excitement, and even peaceful certainty charge the connection so that manifestation accelerates. If fear or doubt creeps in, the circuit weakens. That's why consistent practices like breathwork, uplifting music, or daily gratitude walks help maintain a steady signal. Receiving energy is not only about personal gain, it's also about exchange. The more freely you give, whether kindness, encouragement, or knowledge, the more space you create to receive. Think of it as a cosmic inhale and exhale. When you freely share inspiration or lend a hand to someone else, the universe breathes opportunities back to you in ways you could never script. Some people notice a sudden surge of synchronicities when they practice this. A new friend introduces them to the perfect collaborator, or a chance conversation opens a door to long-desired travel. These events are not random. They are signs that entangled energy has become active. The universe is showing that the manifestation is no longer an idea, but a living exchange already underway. Technology offers its own metaphors. Think of wireless devices that pair instantly once they share the same frequency. You don't see the signal, but it links them across distance. Your consciousness behaves in a similar way. When you consistently align with joy, trust, and gratitude, you pair with realities vibrating on the same channel, allowing them to lock in and appear. A subtle but important step is releasing the timeline. Energy bonds work outside of clock time. If you demand a deadline, you create friction. Instead, hold a steady inner knowing that what is yours is already inbound. Just as an email travels through invisible servers before landing in the inbox, your manifestation is on the move even if you cannot track every stage. It helps to treat each intuitive nudge as part of a conversation. Maybe you feel a sudden urge to visit a bookstore, call an old friend, or take a different route home. These gentle impulses are often the universe's way of guiding you toward the meeting point of entanglement. Acting on them with trust keeps the energy exchange alive and accelerates the unfolding. Over time, this practice changes how you experience relationships, opportunities, and even daily coincidences. You start to sense an ongoing dialogue with life itself, as if the universe is both partner and friend. This awareness softens effort and brings a sense of companionship to the journey of manifestation. You no longer feel alone in creating your future, and just as you grow comfortable with this constant flow of give and receive, life introduces a new twist. The next stage often presents resistance, those final tests that challenge your commitment and clarify your intention. Far from blocking you, these moments prepare you to hold the larger energy you are about to receive. Just when everything seems ready to unfold, life often throws up a wall. Old fears surface, unexpected bills appear, or keep people back out at the last minute. At first, this feels like the universe saying no, but in spirituality, it's usually the opposite. Resistance is the last checkpoint before manifestation, a way to prove that your intention is steady and your energy truly aligned. Think about training for a marathon. The longest run before race day is often the toughest. Muscles ache, the mind rebels, and yet that challenge builds the strength needed to finish strong. The same principle works in the law of attraction. When delays or setbacks arise, they are not punishment. They are preparation, giving you the endurance to hold what you are calling in. Many people quit during this phase because they misread it. They assume obstacles mean failure. In truth, resistance is often a sign that the quantum field is rearranging itself in your favor. The universe wants to see if you will hold the frequency of trust, or if you will slip back into doubt. Passing this test refines your vibration so that the coming manifestation has a stable foundation. Practical example. Someone starting a heart-centered business might face sudden cash flow issues or criticism from friends. Instead of giving up, they can view these challenges as a strengthening phase. By keeping faith, updating their plan, seeking new partnerships, and maintaining gratitude, they signal that the dream is non-negotiable. Soon, supportive investors or clients often appear, almost out of nowhere. This final test also reveals hidden fears that would otherwise sabotage the goal. Maybe you want a deep relationship but still fear vulnerability. Resistance brings those feelings to the surface so they can be healed. Journaling, therapy, or honest conversations become tools to clear inner space. When fear is faced and released, love can enter without friction. Emotionally, resistance can feel like heavy weather. Doubt, irritation, or even boredom may cloud your usual optimism. Simple practices like mindful walking, daily gratitude lists, or 10 minutes of quiet breathing help keep your inner climate steady. These small acts keep your vibration high enough for the law of attraction to keep working, even when you can't see immediate progress. Remember, the universe matches energy, not impatience. When you meet delays with calm determination, you tell life you are ready. This is why many success stories include a darkest hour moment just before the breakthrough. That pause is not random. It's the final calibration, aligning your heart, mind, and external conditions so the manifestation can land securely. Technology offers a metaphor here. Think of a software update that takes longer than expected. The pause is not failure, it's installing essential features behind the screen. Your spiritual growth works the same way. What feels like stagnation is often the deeper programming that ensures long-term stability for your new reality. Another sign of the final test is the temptation to settle for less. Maybe a job offer comes that is almost but not quite what you asked for. Saying no can feel risky, yet holding out affirms trust in the bigger plan. This strengthens the signal you send to the quantum field and invites the exact match you've been preparing for. During resistance, community support becomes invaluable. Sharing experiences with friends, mentors, or spiritual groups can lighten the weight. Hearing that others faced similar trials and still manifested their goals renews courage. Books like Think and Grow Rich or The Alchemist echo this universal pattern. Every hero meets a gatekeeper before entering the treasure room. Gratitude is a quiet superpower here. Thanking the universe for the lesson inside each challenge keeps energy flowing. Even saying, "I don't know why this is delayed, but I trust it's for good," sends a powerful message of readiness. Gratitude flips resistance from obstacle to ally, transforming waiting time into fertile ground. Over time, you begin to see resistance as a teacher rather than an enemy. Each setback trains patience, sharpens focus, and deepens trust. Instead of fighting the current, you learn to ride it, knowing it leads exactly where you need to go. This understanding turns what once felt like chaos into a signpost of progress. And when the lesson has done its work, something subtle shifts. The pressure eases, clarity returns, and the next stage of your journey, divine timing and the sacred pause, naturally unfolds. What once felt like a blockade reveals itself as the doorway to a perfectly timed manifestation. Manifestation often feels urgent, but the universe moves with a rhythm of its own. What seems like delay is usually perfect alignment at work. Spirituality teaches that every desire has its season, like fruit ripening on a tree. Pick it too soon and it lacks sweetness. Wait for its moment and it nourishes fully. This is the essence of divine timing. Think of nature's patience. A butterfly rests inside a cocoon for days after it looks ready, letting hidden processes finish. Your dreams need the same hidden incubation. The sacred pause may look like nothing is happening, but energy is weaving details that can't be rushed. When the pieces click together, the manifestation arrives almost effortlessly. This pause can feel uncomfortable. The mind races with what-ifs, and impatience whispers that nothing will change. Yet the law of attraction is still active, silently arranging connections and opportunities. Like a theater crew preparing behind the curtain, the universe sets the stage so the show can begin without a single missed cue. Practical example. Someone saving for a new home may watch the housing market without seeing the right property. Then suddenly a perfect house appears at a better price than imagined. All those weeks of apparent stillness were part of the setup. Divine timing works with precision beyond any schedule we could design. The sacred pause is also an invitation to grow. When things seem still, it's a chance to strengthen skills, heal relationships, or deepen spiritual practice. Reading an inspiring book, taking a course, or volunteering may feel unrelated, yet these actions prepare the inner life to hold the blessings ahead. The universe often waits for character to catch up with the vision. Gratitude becomes essential here. By giving thanks for today's small gifts, sunlight, friendship, good health, you anchor yourself in trust. Gratitude is not passive. It's an active frequency that tells life you are ready for the next step. It keeps energy moving and keeps doubt from taking root during the waiting time. It helps to view delays as signs of protection rather than rejection. How many times have you looked back and realized that something you desperately wanted earlier would have been a heavy burden? The sacred pause filters out mismatches, making sure what finally arrives truly fits your deepest needs and long-term happiness. Stillness does not mean inaction. Divine timing calls for calm, not idleness. Keep following inspired ideas, update plans, and stay open to new paths. The difference is that you act from peace instead of panic. Each step becomes lighter, as if carried by a current rather than forced by effort. Technology offers a metaphor. Think of a slow but precise download. Interrupt it and the file corrupts. Let it finish and everything opens smoothly. Your manifestation works the same way. Trusting the full download prevents half-formed outcomes and saves you from repairs later. This stage can also refine your relationships. Friends or colleagues who drift away during the pause are not accidents. They create space for those who will match the next version of your life. What looks like loss is often preparation for richer, more aligned connections. Meditation and mindful walks can transform waiting into wonder. A quiet morning with deep breathing or a sunset stroll shifts attention from lack to presence. Many people notice gentle signs, a repeated number, a symbolic dream, a sudden feeling of certainty, showing that the universe is quietly on schedule. Patience gained here becomes a lifelong asset. Future projects, relationships, and dreams will all benefit from the steady heart developed during this pause. The ability to wait with faith is like strengthening a spiritual muscle that supports every manifestation to come. And just as you settle into trust, you begin to feel a new vibration rising. Emotions start to glow with a higher frequency, leading naturally into the next chapter. Understanding how feelings themselves create measurable energy fields that draw reality into form. Every thought carries a feeling, and every feeling carries a frequency. In spirituality, this isn't just poetry. It's a practical map for manifestation. High vibration emotions like gratitude, love, and joy emit signals measured in hundreds of hertz. Lower ones like fear and doubt vibrate far lower. The law of attraction responds to these signals long before words are spoken. Think of a radio. If you want classical music but tuned to a static-filled station, you won't hear the song you love. Your emotional state is the dial. When gratitude or excitement fills the day, you naturally tune in to opportunities and people who match that frequency. That is why even a short morning gratitude practice can shift an entire week. Practical example. Someone seeking a new career might begin each day by naming 3 things they appreciate in their current job. Within weeks, fresh ideas and offers often appear. Nothing mystical, just the field matching a higher vibration. Even skeptical friends notice how cheerful people seem to attract luck, which is really aligned energy at work. Of course, everyone feels low sometimes. The goal is not to force constant happiness, but to notice and gently lift the average. Simple steps like listening to uplifting music, walking in nature, or sharing kind words can nudge the emotional dial upward. Each small choice raises the frequency and keeps manifestation alive and steady. Science echoes this insight. Heart rate studies show how calm breathing raises coherence in the body, and coherent rhythms are magnetic in subtle ways. When you breathe deeply or meditate, you're not just relaxing. You're synchronizing your inner field so that external events can synchronize with you. This is spirituality meeting measurable biology. Relationships clearly reveal these frequencies. Two people can enter a room and lift or lower the atmosphere without speaking. Their emotions ripple outward like Wi-Fi signals. When you keep your own energy in gratitude or love, you influence spaces and attract connections that support your goals. It's quiet but powerful leadership. Even challenges become opportunities when you work with emotion this way. Feeling fear before a big presentation? Pause, breathe, and choose a thought of excitement instead. The physical setting stays the same, but the vibration changes, inviting support rather than resistance. Many professionals use this method to transform nerves into magnetic confidence. Money and career follow similar rules. People who enjoy their work often see raises and offers flow more easily. The joy they feel acts like a calling card to matching circumstances. Keeping a success playlist, celebrating small wins, or ending each day with a short gratitude note helps maintain that upward tone. Spirituality reminds us that emotion is creative power, not just a reaction. Every smile, laugh, or moment of awe writes a code in the quantum field. Over time, these codes become the architecture of your life. That is why fun and play are not distractions. They are essential ingredients of serious manifestation. It also helps to keep company with people who uplift. Shared laughter, meaningful conversations, and encouraging words amplify everyone's vibration. Group meditation, music nights, or volunteering together multiply positive frequencies. The energy of a group can carry a single dream further than solitary effort alone. Sometimes emotions shift without clear reason, an unexpected wave of peace or joy. Many see these as gentle confirmations from the universe, signs that alignment is underway. Instead of questioning them, receive them as gifts, letting the higher current guide your next step. Trust that feeling, it is communication in pure form. Gradually, this practice reshapes daily living. Tasks that once felt heavy become lighter. Coincidences multiply. People describe meeting helpful strangers or finding long-sought solutions after lifting their emotional baseline. What began as an inner habit turns into visible proof of the law of attraction in action. And as your emotions stabilize at these higher notes, something new begins to happen. Life starts offering actions that feel guided and effortless. This natural flow leads straight into the next insight, learning to tell the difference between inspired action and forced effort. Manifestation isn't about sitting still, but it also isn't about exhausting yourself. The difference lies between inspired action and forced action. Inspired action feels light, almost playful. Forced action feels heavy and tense, as if you're swimming upstream. Spirituality teaches that the law of attraction responds most powerfully when you act from inspiration rather than pressure. Imagine two people starting businesses. One spends sleepless nights cold calling strangers driven by fear of missing out. The other follows a sudden idea to partner with a friend and create a small online event. The second person often sees faster results because inspiration carries a natural current that attracts help and perfect timing. Inspired action usually starts with a subtle nudge, a thought during meditation, a dream, or an inner voice saying, "Call this person," or "Try this design." These hints may seem small, yet they open big doors. Many successful projects began as quick notes scribbled on napkins after a sudden spark of excitement. Forced action, on the other hand, drains energy. It comes from anxiety and the urge to control. You can feel it in your body. Tight shoulders, restless thoughts, and a sense of pushing against an invisible wall. Even when results appear, they often come with stress or short-lived satisfaction. The universe seems to delay or complicate outcomes when action lacks joy. Practical example, someone looking for a new apartment might spend every free hour scrolling listings in frustration. Another person may take a relaxed walk in a new neighborhood and meet a neighbor who mentions a perfect vacancy. Both are active, but only one follows the gentle rhythm of inspired action. To welcome this kind of guidance, create quiet space each day. A few minutes of breathing, journaling, or walking without headphones lets intuition speak. The mind slows down and the next step often pops up effortlessly. Many describe it as hearing a soft yes inside when they land on the right idea. Keep in mind that inspired action can still be challenging. Writing a book, training for a marathon, or starting a charity all take discipline. The difference is that inner excitement fuels the effort. Work feels meaningful rather than draining. You go to bed tired but satisfied, not anxious. A helpful tip is to check your motivation with a simple question. Am I acting to express joy or to escape fear? If the answer leans toward fear of missing a chance, fear of what others think, it may be time to pause. Waiting for clarity often saves weeks of ineffective labor. Nature models this perfectly. Rivers don't rush, they follow the path of least resistance, carving canyons with steady flow. Birds migrate with precise timing, not by frantic planning. When we align with this wisdom, our steps fall into place with the same natural elegance. Manifestation becomes a journey of graceful unfolding. In daily life, inspired action feels like synchronicity stacking in your favor. The email you need arrives just as you finish drafting your proposal. A stranger's comment sparks the perfect idea for your project. These coincidences are signals that the field is supporting each move. Even professional success follows this rule. Leaders who trust their intuition often spot trends before data confirms them. They make bold but balanced decisions, and opportunities seem to meet them halfway. Books like The War of Art or Deep Work describe how deep focus and inner listening lead to creative breakthroughs. Relationships thrive on inspired action too. A sudden impulse to reach out to an old friend might renew a partnership that shapes your next career step. Choosing to host a casual dinner could introduce you to someone who becomes a life partner. These simple gestures, guided by joy, can change a lifetime. As you become familiar with this effortless rhythm, you'll notice a bigger transformation taking shape. The personal world begins to shift in sudden, powerful ways, just like water turning to ice, preparing you for the next phase of emergence and quantum-level change. Every big change starts quietly, then suddenly appears. Water stays liquid until it hits a critical temperature and, in an instant, becomes ice. Personal transformation follows the same hidden buildup. You live your daily routine while energy gathers strength beneath the surface. Then, almost overnight, a new reality crystallizes. This is the phase transition that marks true manifestation. Think of someone studying a new skill. For weeks, progress seems slow. Then one morning everything clicks, and tasks that felt hard become natural. Spiritual growth and the law of attraction operate in just this way. Invisible practice builds a pressure of readiness until life itself pops into a higher state. This explains why nothing seems to change until everything changes. The universe uses the quiet period to align people, opportunities, and timing. When conditions reach the tipping point, change looks sudden to outsiders but feels perfectly timed to you. The field was preparing a leap all along. Practical example: an artist works on small projects for years. One day, a major gallery notices their work and offers a career-changing show. Friends call it luck, but it's really the moment when hidden dedication reaches a critical mass. The manifestation was maturing in silence long before the invitation arrived. Emotionally, phase transition can feel like restless anticipation. You sense that old habits no longer fit, but can't yet describe the new life. Rather than forcing answers, treat this as proof of growth. Just as caterpillars dissolve inside the chrysalis, part of your old self is melting to make space for wings. During this time, it's common to experience vivid dreams, unexpected insights, or sudden shifts in relationships. These are signs that the subconscious and the quantum field are rewiring your path. Keep a journal or voice notes. Capturing these moments often reveals patterns and next steps that conscious thought might miss. Support your emergence with consistent, gentle practices. Meditation, creative hobbies, or time in nature give space for inner structures to reassemble. The aim is not to rush, but to stay open and grounded while energy reorganizes itself into something greater than before. Finances, career, and health can all undergo this quiet buildup. Maybe an idea for a business slowly takes shape until one partnership or market change brings explosive growth. Or steady improvements in daily habits lead to a sudden leap in physical vitality. What appears sudden is really the visible crest of deep preparation. Relationships also reflect this pattern. A friendship can slowly deepen for years and then transform overnight into a lifelong partnership. The phase transition isn't magic. It's the point where shared experiences and intentions reach the density needed for a new form to emerge. Sometimes the old structure collapses first. A job ends, a long routine breaks, or an unexpected move happens. Though uncomfortable, this clearing is essential. Just as a seed's shell breaks before sprouting, certain parts of life must release their form to let new growth take over. Keep listening for gentle inner cues. You might feel drawn to a different city, a new study path, or a change in lifestyle. These impulses are part of the emergence, guiding you to places and people that match the next stage of your vibration. Acting on them helps the transformation settle into daily reality. Looking back, you'll notice that each so-called coincidence was actually a building block. The friendships made, skills learned, and lessons faced were all material for this new shape of life. Recognizing this pattern deepens trust in the law of attraction and encourages you to stay patient through future transitions. And just as a butterfly doesn't stop evolving once it leaves the cocoon, this breakthrough is not the end. The next level brings its own mysteries, leading you toward the profound field of the quantum vacuum, where infinite possibilities wait to stabilize into your unfolding reality. Right after a breakthrough, life can feel strangely empty, like standing in a silent room after music stops. In spirituality, this is not a setback, but the quantum vacuum at work. Beneath the stillness, infinite potential is brewing. Every possibility exists as a virtual manifestation, ready to stabilize the moment the right signal is given. Think of space as a fertile garden. To the eye, it may look bare, but below the soil, countless seeds are waiting. Your thoughts and emotions are like sunlight and water, calling forth whichever seeds match your vibration. The vacuum is not empty at all. It's packed with invisible beginnings. Daily life shows hints of this principle. You might suddenly meet someone who later becomes crucial to your dream, or catch a quick idea that disappears if ignored. These are like virtual particles popping in and out of existence. Act on them, and they anchor into reality. Dismiss them, and they fade back into potential. This explains the importance of mindfulness. When your mind is calm and alert, you notice subtle cues. A phone call to make, a book title that stands out, a sudden urge to change plans. Each small move is a bridge between invisible possibility and physical manifestation. Quick, gentle action locks the opportunity in place. Technology offers a modern metaphor. Consider how a 3D printer builds an object layer by layer from digital code. The design exists long before you can touch it. Similarly, your desired future is already coded in the field. What we call waiting is often the printer running in perfect sequence. The quantum vacuum is also a training ground for trust. Because nothing obvious is happening, the ego wants proof. But the law of attraction is most active in this invisible stage. The more you relax and stay receptive, the more accurately the field can assemble conditions around you. Practical example: an entrepreneur may feel drawn to read a certain article or attend a small meetup with no clear reason. Weeks later, that single step reveals the investor or idea that changes everything. Acting on quiet intuition turns a fleeting virtual chance into a solid new reality. This stage rewards curiosity. Explore new interests, pick up creative hobbies, or learn a skill that excites you. These activities stir hidden connections and often reveal the very opportunities you've been calling in. The vacuum responds to genuine enthusiasm like a spark in dry wood. It's also wise to keep a seed journal. Record sudden insights, chance encounters, or repeating symbols without judgment. Many people look back and realize those notes were the early architecture of major manifestations. The vacuum speaks softly, so a written record helps you catch its language. Relationships often sprout in this way. A casual introduction today might lead to a life partner or key collaborator years later. You can't predict which link will bloom, so treat every meeting with openness. Each person is a potential bridge between the unseen and the tangible. Financial and career breakthroughs follow the same rhythm. What feels like a quiet lull may actually be the incubation of a market trend, a job opening, or a partnership forming behind the scenes. Patience here is not passive. It is active trust in the most creative part of the process. As you live with this awareness, you start to sense a friendly presence in the so-called void. Silence becomes rich with hints and micro-miracles. What used to feel like nothing now feels like everything waiting to happen. This relaxed readiness is the ideal ground for the next transformation. And as these invisible seeds begin to take root, the journey naturally turns inward again, toward identity itself. The next step invites you to embody the person who already lives in the reality you are creating, training mind and energy to stay coherent with the life you are about to receive. Manifestation is not only about what you want, it's about who you become while you wait. Identity coherence means living today as the person who already enjoys the life you're calling in. Instead of wishing for abundance from a place of lack, you begin to think, speak, and act as if abundance is normal. The law of attraction matches that steady self-image. Consider how athletes train. A marathon runner doesn't just dream of the finish line. They eat, sleep, and practice like a champion months before race day. Spirituality works the same way. When you embody success, love, or health in daily habits, you signal to the universe that your desired timeline is already real. Practical example. Someone wanting financial freedom might start organizing finances like a seasoned investor, tracking expenses, reading smart money books, and carrying themselves with calm confidence. These steps are not empty rituals. They are signals to the field that the new identity is active and ready to be mirrored. Language plays a key role. Notice how you talk about your life. Phrases like, "I'm always broke," keep you tied to an old pattern. Try saying, "I'm learning to manage wealth with ease," or, "Opportunities keep finding me." These simple adjustments rewire the brain and align energy with a prosperous self-image. Your environment should also reflect the person you're becoming. A writer might create a peaceful workspace even before signing a book deal. Someone seeking wellness might keep healthy foods visible and sneakers by the door. These cues tell your mind that the future self is not distant, it's moving in now. Inner work is equally vital. Meditation, visualization, or mindful breathing help the nervous system adopt the feelings of your desired life. Imagine the relief of financial freedom or the warmth of a loving relationship. Let those emotions settle until they feel normal. This emotional rehearsal trains the subconscious to accept new realities. Relationships will start to mirror this shift. People who match your new frequency are drawn in. Those who don't may quietly drift away. This is not rejection, but natural alignment. By embodying your future self, you create a social field where the right connections can easily find you. Technology offers a helpful metaphor. Updating software means deleting outdated code. Likewise, identity coherence sometimes requires letting go of habits, belongings, or routines that belong to an older version of you. Clearing clutter, physical or emotional, creates room for the upgrade to install. It's common to meet small tests during this stage. Perhaps an old fear resurfaces or a tempting shortcut appears. Use these moments to reaffirm your choice. Each time you stay consistent, you strengthen the neural and energetic pathways that support the new identity. Daily rituals anchor the change. Start mornings with a brief statement of who you are becoming. I live with purpose and abundance. Keep a vision board or playlist that celebrates your future life. These habits might feel simple, but they broadcast a powerful frequency of readiness. Even small gestures matter. Dress in a way that reflects the life you desire. Organize your workspace with care, or greet strangers with the warmth of someone already fulfilled. Each choice builds a reality that soon feels natural, because it is. As weeks pass, you'll notice subtle confirmations, unexpected compliments, helpful coincidences, or a deeper sense of calm. These are signs that the outer world is syncing with the inner upgrade. Identity and manifestation begin to match like two sides of the same coin. And as this new self takes root, guidance becomes more direct. Intuition sharpens and you start sensing gentle messages from the version of you that has already reached the goal. A future self, ready to lead you into the next chapter of the journey. Imagine a wiser version of you who has already crossed every challenge you now face. In spirituality, that future self isn't fiction. It's a living energy that can guide you. The law of attraction teaches that time is not as rigid as we think. The person you are becoming can send signals back to the present, offering hints, ideas, and courage. You may have felt this as sudden clarity, a strong urge to make a call, enroll in a course, or skip a meeting that didn't feel right. Often we call it intuition, but it can also be your future self gently steering you toward the best timeline. These nudges are easy to ignore if you rush, which is why quiet moments matter. Practical example. Someone dreams of writing a book but keeps postponing. One night they wake up with a complete outline in their mind. By following it, they discover the perfect structure and eventually meet the right publisher. Many authors describe such downloads as if a wiser part of themselves had already written the story. To connect consciously, set aside a few minutes of meditation. Close your eyes and imagine meeting your future self in a peaceful place. Ask simple questions. What next step will move me forward today? Or, what habit do I need to release? Record any impressions. Even if they feel like imagination, treat them with respect. They often carry practical truth. Another approach is writing letters to and from your future self. Start by describing a perfect day in that future life. Then let the future self write back with advice. This practice trains the brain to notice guidance hidden in daily events. Over time, subtle coincidences will confirm that the conversation is real. Dreams are also a powerful channel. Keep a notebook by your bed and write down images or messages you remember. Patterns often emerge, a repeated symbol, a phrase, or a person who later becomes important. Your future self may use dreams as a bridge, sending information when the conscious mind is quiet. Trust is key. Guidance sometimes feels illogical. You might feel drawn to take a different route home or join a meeting outside your field. Following these impulses can open surprising opportunities. A chance meeting with a future business partner, a class that leads to a new passion, or a single idea that sparks a major breakthrough. Relationships often benefit most from this dialogue. Your future self might inspire you to reach out to someone you haven't spoken with in years, or to forgive a past hurt. These steps clear emotional space so that deeper connections can grow. What feels like personal healing is also preparation for shared manifestations. This inner mentor also helps with timing. If you feel torn between rushing a project and waiting, a quiet check-in can reveal whether conditions are truly ready. It's like getting advice from someone who can see the finished puzzle while you're still fitting the first pieces. Books and journals can become tools for this process. Reading works that once felt too advanced may suddenly make perfect sense, as if the future self had been waiting for the right moment to deliver them. Pay attention to passages that light up in unexpected ways. They often hold direct guidance. As you build trust, everyday coincidences take on new meaning. A phrase overheard in a cafe, a timely email, or even a song lyric can carry the exact message you need. Life becomes a dialogue between who you are and who you are becoming. Over time, you start to feel constant companionship. Instead of struggling alone, you sense a wise friend walking beside you, cheering you on. This feeling deepens confidence and makes each decision lighter. The more you listen, the stronger and clearer the guidance becomes. And as this partnership with your future self matures, you begin to notice physical changes too. Brain pathways start to reorganize, preparing for the next level of growth. Proof that inner communication is reshaping not only your destiny, but also your very biology. Every new insight rewires the brain. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the ability of neural pathways to change and grow. Spirituality adds another layer. As you absorb higher truths about the law of attraction and manifestation, your mind isn't just learning facts. It's reshaping itself to notice and create new possibilities in the quantum field. Think of how learning a musical instrument changes the brain. At first, your fingers fumble, but with practice, new networks form, making complex movements natural. In the same way, each meditation, visualization, or moment of deep gratitude builds fresh pathways that make spiritual awareness feel effortless. What once required effort becomes instinct. This explains why repeating empowering thoughts has real power. When you affirm, "I attract opportunities with ease," you're not only sending energy outward, you're training the brain to spot matching chances. Over time, the mind begins to choose those patterns automatically, and manifestation speeds up because your inner and outer worlds speak the same language. Practical example, a person who fears public speaking might start by visualizing confident presentations. Alongside meditation and small real-life steps, their brain gradually normalizes the feeling of calm on stage. Soon, invitations to speak arrive, and they meet them with poise. Spiritual practice and neuroplasticity worked hand in hand. Daily habits accelerate this process. Reading uplifting books, listening to inspiring talks, and surrounding yourself with positive people create steady input for new neural circuits. It's like installing fresh software that runs creativity and optimism as default settings. Consistency matters more than intensity. Even setbacks can help. When life challenges old beliefs, the brain must adapt. This can feel uncomfortable, like mental soreness after a workout, but it's proof of growth. Each time you choose faith over fear, you carve stronger paths for trust and resilience. The law of attraction then has a clearer channel to deliver results. Physical movement also supports neuroplasticity. Activities like dancing, yoga, or mindful walking oxygenate the brain and encourage new connections. Pairing gentle motion with visualization or affirmations doubles the effect, linking positive thoughts with bodily memory so the change stays anchored. Technology offers a vivid metaphor. Updating an app rewrites its code while keeping core functions intact. Likewise, spiritual practice doesn't erase who you are. It updates the mental code that interprets reality. Soon, synchronicities, intuitive flashes, and creative solutions appear as natural features of your upgraded mind. This inner remodeling influences relationships too. As neural pathways shift toward empathy and joy, communication becomes easier and conflicts resolve faster. You draw people who resonate with your new state, reinforcing the cycle of positive change. Manifestation thrives in such a fertile emotional environment. Over time, quantum awareness deepens. You begin to sense subtle patterns in events and conversations, noticing how thoughts ripple outward and return as experiences. Life feels less random and more like a responsive dialogue. The brain and the universe start working as one creative team. Sleep and dreams are key allies. During rest, the brain consolidates new circuits and processes insights that surface during the day. Keeping a dream journal can reveal fresh guidance from the deeper mind, often pointing to the next inspired action before you're fully awake. Eventually, what began as conscious practice becomes second nature. You think, speak, and act from a place of trust without effort. The quantum field responds to this stable frequency with remarkable speed. Manifestations that once seemed extraordinary become everyday events. And as your mind embraces this new flexibility, a larger horizon opens. The personal transformation you're experiencing is part of something collective, a global awakening where countless individuals are rewiring their consciousness and together, shaping a new world of synchronicity and shared miracles. Personal breakthroughs don't end with you, they echo outward. Every shift in thought, every act of kindness, sends ripples through the collective field of humanity. Spirituality teaches that the law of attraction and manifestation are not private events. They are signals that influence the shared quantum space we all inhabit. Think of a tuning fork that makes others vibrate at the same note. When you raise your emotional frequency, you invite everyone nearby to rise a little higher too. A single conversation filled with hope or gratitude can lift a workplace, a family dinner, or even an online community. Change spreads faster than we imagine. Science hints at this with studies on emotional contagion and group coherence. Heart rate patterns in one person can influence another within minutes. When many people meditate or focus on compassion, measurable shifts appear in the collective atmosphere. Your private inner work quietly becomes public service. Practical example: A neighborhood group starts a daily 5-minute gratitude practice online. Over months, they notice more collaboration, safer streets, and even local policy changes. Each small intention amplified the collective field, demonstrating how spiritual alignment leads to real-world results. The digital world magnifies this effect. A single inspiring post can reach thousands within hours. When messages carry the frequency of love and trust, they do more than motivate. They help rewire the global network of minds. What feels like sharing a quote is often the seed of someone else's awakening. Even personal stories of struggle and triumph matter. By speaking honestly about challenges and the path of manifestation, you give others permission to heal and grow. The collective field becomes richer every time one person moves from fear to courage, or from doubt to creative action. This process changes how we view problems like climate shifts, inequality, or social conflict. Instead of feeling powerless, you begin to see each positive action: planting a tree, mentoring a child, practicing daily gratitude, as part of a much larger transformation. Millions of small changes add up to a global phase transition. Music, art, and gatherings also accelerate collective awakening. A concert, a festival, or even a simple drum circle can lift shared energy dramatically. Participants leave inspired to create, help, and dream bigger. These shared vibrations often spark new social projects and breakthroughs in science, education, or community care. Sometimes the influence works invisibly. A quiet act of forgiveness can soften tension across generations. A choice to meditate instead of argue may shift the mood of an entire household. Manifestation on the collective level often begins with small, unseen decisions like these. Technology provides new tools for this expansion. Online meditation groups, virtual study circles, and global live streams allow thousands to synchronize thoughts and emotions in real time. Each gathering strengthens a worldwide lattice of peaceful, creative energy. As more people awaken, old systems based on fear and scarcity lose strength. New economic models, community structures, and cultural values emerge. What once felt like isolated acts of spirituality become the architecture of a different kind of society, one designed around cooperation and trust. Living with this awareness changes daily motivation. Your morning meditation is not just for personal calm. It contributes to a planet-wide field of harmony. A single decision to act kindly or create art becomes a thread in the tapestry of collective manifestation. And as the collective field rises, individual life receives even more support. Synchronicities multiply and guidance flows with less resistance. This shared awakening leads naturally to the closing movement of our journey, inviting everyone to apply these insights, interact, and help shape a reality where personal and global transformation move as one. You've just walked through a complete map of how spirituality, the law of attraction, and manifestation can reshape reality, step by step, from the first quiet sign to a worldwide ripple of transformation. But none of this becomes real until you put it into motion. Which part of this journey is calling you first? Will you start with a daily gratitude habit, a bold, inspired action, or by simply noticing the next subtle sign? Ask yourself, what is one belief I'm ready to release today so that a bigger reality can unfold? Share your answer in the comments. Your story might be the spark that helps someone else take their next step. Remember, every small choice, every thought of gratitude, every inspired action feeds the collective awakening we talked about. You're not only creating a personal miracle, you're helping build a new field of possibilities for everyone. If these insights spoke to you, let's keep building this field together. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and activate the notifications so each new lesson arrives right when you need it. Add a comment about the sign or idea that touched you most. These simple moves keep you in the flow of fresh teachings and connect you with a global circle of people who are manifesting, just like you.